All right. Good morning, or hello, I guess is how I'm going to say that. I'm going to say hello, welcome. We
Good
are
morning.
here with Sal Orlando. He is an artist with Central Coast Sculptors, and we're going to be chit-chatting with him and learning some things about him and maybe going down a rabbit hole. Like, we don't know how this will go. My name is Keisha Willingham, and I am also a member with Central Coast Sculptors. And this is my way of getting to know my team, my people that I am part of a little deeper. So I hope that you enjoy getting to know us deeper as well. Welcome, Sal.
Well, thank you for having me here, Keisha. I look forward to this.
Yeah, so as we're gonna start this, let's just do a little bit of background. So tell me a little bit of your history.
Sure. Okay. Good morning, Keisha. My name is Sal Orlando, Salvatore Orlando. Some people say I should use my full name on my art because it sounds more like an Italian sculptor, but I'm Sal Orlando. I'm here on the Central Coast. I'm very happy and proud to be part of the Central Coast Sculpting Group and the Art Collective. I know Carl Burney has been working really hard on that with the help of Rhonda LeBrain, and really glad we're in their hands to guide us along the way. And I look forward to getting to know more people in the group. And I did get the opportunity to meet a few more people because I was part of the Tomorrow's Sculpture exhibition that they just had last month in Morro Bay at the Morro Bay Art Center Art Association, and Patrice was the director there, and she was wonderful, and I thought it was a wonderful show, and I got to meet some other artists, this is a very isolative solo sort of gig, so I'm by myself and I don't really get to rub elbows with like-minded people very often, so it was a great opportunity.
It was really nice to be amongst like my people, my tribe, right? Like maybe just people that get me and understand, art and just, love it and are passionate about it.
The trials and tribulations, they've had the same, successes and defeats, sculpting. If you don't mind me like veering off, since you mentioned the topic that I've been struggling on a piece recently, and I took a little too much off, and sculpture, or at least stone sculpting, stone carving, is an art of subtraction, right? You're taking material away to get down to the form within. With clay or painting or drawing, you make a mistake, you get your eraser with clay, you just scrape it off, put some more on, wax, all that stuff. With stone, it's gone. It's gone. I mean, yeah, you can use a little super glue, but no one likes that. And you see a little crack or you point it out and it just never feels right. So yeah, so
that's actually, kind of an interesting topic. So when that happens, because I imagine that you have a picture in your mind of what you're going to create. So, and then something like that happens where you like, oops, okay. So now do you begin to shift what you see to accommodate what's happened?
Yeah, that brings me into a little bit of a different topic regarding, this is the different styles and types of stone carvers and sculptors that there are. They're indirect stone carvers and direct stone carvers. An indirect stone, and I hate to repeat things people already know, but for some this is new information. An indirect stone carver is someone who typically uses a model, maquette, drawings, in-depth sketches from all different angles. And they'll typically take measurements with special instrumentations and gauges and stuff that go around corners and they'll either expand or shrink whatever off their model. They'll bring that measurement over to the block of stone, they'll make their marks, and they'll make sure that the two pieces sort of mimic each other. I went recently for a couple-day retreat over a gentleman whose name is Matt Abunin, and he's a phenomenal sculptor, very talented and classically trained in Carrara marble, and he knows his stuff. And he taught me the pointing instrument, and I was able to learn it. I never got proficient at it, but I was able to get the concept. I was able to do it. But I personally, for me, I found no pleasure in it. As a direct carver, now there's all variations on this, but typically we just go attack the stone. Yes, we might look at something for a reference, or for like my butterfly, you can see here in the back, it's hard to see from that angle. Or I'll take you here, Oliver, just definitely hope I can move this camera. Like this butterfly, right? It might not be anatomically correct exactly, or even like this flower, or the dragonfly there. These are images in my mind, representations of nature that I try to reflect in my work. It's stylized, it's sort of whimsical. There's not exact proportions and measurements. I took off a butterfly and transferred it up. So it's sort of free flowing. It's a little more organic type of carving. And sometimes if I do make a mistake on a piece, because I guess I could say it, most abstract carvers are indirect carvers. Are direct carvers, are direct carvers. Not to say some aren't indirect, who have a really detailed geometric form that they're trying to, mimic. But for the most part, it's a fluid and it's organic, so I can change it midstream, and I draw outside the lines, so to speak. And even if I've drawn a line on my piece or made a mark and I happen to, cut into it or go a little deeper than I wanted, there's ways to sort of fudge and work around. But that being said, sometimes you can just be crushed. Like, I'll show you a piece that I was 99% finished with. This piece right here, I just finished this last week. Very detailed and very time consuming. And as I was doing my final polish and sanding, I don't know if you can see right there the crack. And it's very sad. And I glued it, but I know there's a crack there.
Yeah.
I don't, like, now I can't sell this piece, I don't think. I tell someone, look, there's a break, but basically now it's mine. And I don't mind it. I love it,
Right, yeah, it's very cool.
Yeah, it's Estimo's marble from a place in South Central Portugal, which I actually visited. Most Portuguese marble is pink. This is a lot more white, but I love the colored veining, and it doesn't have a true bedding plane. It's got great crystals to reflect light. So I do different things. Do I have a niche? Sort of, like this whimsical, stylized hookah smoking caterpillar that's illuminated, but then here's a geometric shape,
Right.
So I don't know if I haven't found my exact lane yet, but I'm figuring it out.
That's okay. I think that a lot of times we, as artists, I don't know that anybody has 100% of, I only do this, right? Like, I only do this. I don't do anything else, which I feel like is probably a better situation anyway, because if you're so tied in, then typically doesn't all of your work end up looking very similar? Mm-hmm. And so I feel like if we can sometimes step outside that box,
right,
and expand our style, veer away from, I think it opens the door to slightly more creativity or working with a different product, so.
I agree 100%. I think it's good to mix it up a little bit. Still I'm using stone, I'm carving stone, but I do mix it up a little. For me, I guess one of the things that I tend to do, I find myself, as you can see with there's variations in my work, but I do like marrying different stones together. I can make, and I do make, sculptures out of one solid stone, as you saw in the white Estimo's marble there from Portugal. But then in the geometric piece, a butterfly and all the other pieces, I put different colored stones together.
Right.
So,
Yeah, mix.
yeah, like on this flower, excuse me again, this is Cipollino marble from Italy. And this is, the light's just solid right now. It might be flashing on the screen because of the 60 hertz recording, but we'll see. This is Persian pink onyx. And, I went a little crazy, but it's very detailed way up in here. This is selenite. This is Utah alabaster, and it's illuminated with LED lights. So I do that. I put this ruby red onyx on a piece of soapstone, and there's my snail. So
Yeah.
So I like marrying that. I guess I do have to sort of have some differentiation than some sculptors. So I guess that would be my specialty, in the sense that something I tend to do more often than not is marrying variations of different translucent stones together, and maybe even add some light to them so they wake up at night.
Right, which is very cool, and it is. I feel like your work is unique in that way. So when you say you don't feel like you have a niche, but you still definitely have a style. Like your style is it's fun, and even that piece of Eskimo marble back there, man, I love that piece. But I love like filigree, like swirly things. Like I love that kind of look.
So much work. Thank you. Yeah, I do too. It just was, as I was making it, I was loving it and hating it at the same time.
Okay, I think that's a very normal artist experience, no matter what you're doing.
I do want to share with you a piece I'm working on now, just because.
Ooh, a work in progress?
Yeah.
Yay.
I find it fascinating. Like, my thing is, I like to reflect the world around me, the natural world around me in my stone. And I'm making a calla lily here out of some calcite, but stone is so pretty. And I don't know if you can see this.
And I can see all the veins. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Isn't that beautiful? So obviously it's not sanded or polished yet. You see how those colors come out?
Yeah.
So fun. Now the stones, this stuff you got to think about, right? The stone is so busy. So I tried not to make this too, detailed. I still have to thin it out here significantly, but then you have to think, when you thin out the stone, you're losing the color, and then it'll become sort of yellowish, and you'll lose this deep orange. So it's a fine line.
Yeah. But then in the process of doing that, you take a little off, and then you get it wet, so you can kind of see where you're at as far as color goes, right? So you're not.
Yes, and where scratches are, the water helps a lot.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I wish we had more time. I'd love to talk about tools and, the process is really, sculpting stone is it's percussion and abrasion. Those are the two fundamental basic elements of sculpting. Is removing stone material is either through percussion or abrasion. And we have a vast array of tools to accomplish that, diamonds, carbide bits, pneumatic chisels, hand chisels, riffler files, sandpaper. It goes on and on.
Maybe I love the idea of seeing the tools. So I wonder if maybe we can get a few of you guys together with some of your tools, and we could maybe record a panel. Right, where each of you, here's the piece I'm working on. and I think that would be super interesting
Mhm.
to see that, and because everybody has their own way, probably all have their own like favorite tool and why it's a
Right.
favorite tool.
And who's more
Uh,
proficient? Some people are more proficient, like to get down, quite a bit of stone. Some people would automatically go to hammer and chisel. Someone use a pneumatic chisel, and some others would get a big diamond burr and abrade it and kick up a bunch
right.
of dust. But they're all getting down to the same level as how do you achieve that? What's more efficient? What's more effective? What causes less mess to clean up? Anyway, think of that for the future. I know there's some other fantastic sculptors here on the Central Coast, and that'd be a neat project to do. I'm I'm sorry to monopolize this conversation, but you're talking about that. I just built a website, and I am just getting started on my art business, so to speak. But I'm uploading some videos onto my website, and
Oh,
some of
good.
them are about tools. They're just short right now. I'm just building the website, but it's getting there. So I'm going to have a page for like videos and resources and links.
Oh,
So
nice.
since I'm here to promote myself, I'm going to do it.
That's
Um,
right. So tell us the
sure.
name of your website.
Well, anyway, just quick about myself. Salvatore Orlando here on the Central Coast. I was working as an operating room nurse and psychiatric nurse for 30 years, a realtor for 20 years. Those careers overlapped for a while. I just retired this year. I've sculpted for years, mostly starting stuff with like Dremel tools and soapstones, and graduated to larger, more complex tools, and then larger, harder stones. Um, but only over the last 4 or 5 years do I feel I've sort of upped my game and gotten to a different level of competence, ability, and I am able to transfer the image that I hold loosely in my mind pretty successfully to the stone when I end up completing it. So I think I haven't arrived yet, but I'm on the track. So my website have a couple different URLs pointing to the same website. It's
Hi.
Sal Orlando Sculpture.com. So all one word, Sal Orlando Sculpture.com. And another that points to the name of my site is visionsstoneart.com. Visionsstoneart.com. And my number is 805-235-9770. So if anybody had just some questions they wanted to ask, or had any interest in my pieces, or wanted to set up an appointment and view my home gallery, give me a call.
Very nice.
Thank you.
Thank you. That's all. You've given a lot of really good information so far. So, look at your little notes down there. Is there anything else that's on there that you wanted to talk about?
I have to put my glasses on now to see. I did acknowledge Rhonda and Carl because they need acknowledgement, and they've been so helpful to us. And Rhonda's been so great on the phone, just sort of giving me, some.
Are you a
encouragement.
client of hers as far as
I want to be. We're working it out. I think she's
okay,
fantastic, and I love her. But I've already taken her advice. Like she said, if you want to be a real artist, you have to commit. You have to work so many hours a day on your art. And then after that, I'm like, geez, now I have to do what she told me. I have to work so many hours a day on my website. So I'm uploading videos, putting content on there. It's just getting there. But yeah, if you have a chance to check out the website, then you'd see a lot of my other pieces. Even though you've seen quite a few here, they're all over the house.
Are you doing any recording while you're working on a piece too?
Yeah, there's a couple short videos. One of them I show the pointing process, the indirect carving method of transferring those measurements onto the stone. I have a little bit using a pneumatic chisel, using a diamond grinding burr. So little things like that. And then I'm going to get permission from and this is something I want to promote, is the Central Coast Sculpture Symposium. Excuse me, I'm so sorry. The California Sculptor Symposium at Camp Ocean Pines in April. It's a wonderful event. And if no one's ever attended, you're really missing out. We have some fantastic instructors. They do an amazing job. That's where I stumbled across it just driving through Cambria 15 years ago, and I saw a sign, Sculptures. I followed it there. I met some wonderful artists who welcomed me, and I was in awe. What the heck is going on here? So next year I came and, little by little.
Participated and.
Yeah, so.
Oh, that's awesome. I'll definitely include that information.
This April. And basically I just wanted to, I think I shared what I wanted to touch on, but thank you for having me.
Thank you, Sal, so much for sharing your love of art and your sculptures with us. I'll be sure to include all your information and the information about the symposium too, because I think that that's valuable. And so, yeah, thank you so much. I appreciate your time, inviting us into your home. And
I'm going to make a personal invitation to you. I know you're in Bakersfield, is that right? Where are you? Yeah, I know you come to, you have another place here in the Central Coast. So come by my home gallery. I'd love to show you, introduce you to my wife, and have you stop by someday.
I definitely would love to do that. Yes.
Yeah, I just my shop and my tools. And
that's a yes. Yes, that's a yes.
Very good, teacher.
I would love to do that.
Here. It was a pleasure.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, thank you. Have a great day.
You too. Bye-bye.